Respected Professor Jacob Matthew sir, whom I really envy, because two of my batchmates in MEd have seen how much of respect, how much of love they had towards you, and gurus like you are our true inspiration. Respected George Matthew sir is the secretary, George Varghese sir, principals of Mathoma institutions, faculty members, administrative staff, and dear friends. As Anila ma'am has said, a close friend of mine, this is an ad hoc arrangement. Actually, a more resourceful person, Dr. Divya Senan, was supposed to meet you today. It was just because of some personal inconvenience I'm here today. But still, I'll try my level best to give you as much as possible, and it depends on how much you taken. I also have my student here, Reshma. I don't know whether there are any other students of mine in this group. Don't worry, there is a problem with technology. But at the same time, I'm a person for technology. Every system has its own advantages and disadvantages, and as teachers, we should be able to tap the potential, the advantages to the maximum. And that is what we'll be trying to do today. It's getting stuck. No, that is getting stuck. One second. One second. Fine. The topic that would be dealing today is the new normal. As we know, we have all been affected, as she said, for 2 years. We have been affected with the pandemic, COVID-19. And now we'll have to look into, adapting to the present situation that's a post-COVID. I'll be dealing with the challenges during COVID and post-COVID, and how, as teachers, you will be able to adapt yourself, as well as the teaching styles and the students to the new situation. So as such, in the new normal, what I would feel as teacher should be a behavior manager. I'll come to that. One of the quote of Albert Einstein, I guess there was another quote in the earlier topic too, great people think alike. So education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. This is one quote that we teachers will have to ponder on. What are we teaching? Are we equipping the students for the future? Are you equipping them to apply the knowledge that you teach in class in their daily life? Simple question is, why do you teach? For each subject, if I ask you, why do you teach? Any mathematics teachers? You should have all the subjects, right? Including engineering graduates also there, right? Teachers from engineering college? Yeah, a few, okay. Don't worry, yeah. If I ask you, see, we have learned quite a lot of things. Just a simple question. If I ask you what is 5 into 5, you'll be able to answer, right? What is 5 into 5? 25. What is 25 into 25? All the people who have passed plus 2 from the Kerala schools would answer that. And if I go beyond that, I don't think I'll get an answer very fast. What is 55 into 55? What is 65 into 65? Someone said that. Yeah, 8 sevens? 55 into 55. How did you get that? You are a maths teacher? Have you taught your students the trick on that? Ah, very good. There are few good teachers. But majority of the teachers, very good. Very good. Okay. And then what is 85 into 85? Don't calculate. You are a maths teacher. Okay. No, the problem is, up to 8, up to 7, you know the tables. When it comes to 9, you have a difficulty. Okay, and that is exactly what we, the teaching system is. Can you just tell the, ma'am, can you just tell the trick? It's simple. Wait. See, when you multiply 45 into 45, just add 4 plus 1. That is 5. 5 into 4, 20. And always any number that ends with 5 and the square will, the last two number digits will be 25. So 45 into 45 is 5 into 4, 20, 2025. 55 into 55, 6 into 5, 3025. 75 into 75, 8 sevens, 5 6, 2 5. Simple. This was the way the teachers had to teach you maths. And if that was the method that was followed by the teachers, all of you would have answered. Same thing with physics, same thing with chemistry. If I ask you, what is the cubic feet of that tree outside there? Maths teachers, science teachers, and all those people who have studied 10th, what formula would you apply? No, I'm not. No, again another point. No. See, what's the shape of a tree? Cylinder. So, it is there was a clue. The problem with the students and the teachers is you need to give clue. When I said cylinder, volume of a cylinder. You teach many things to the students, but the students don't really understand why they learn. That is exactly the problem. You just look at this. This is one thing that has been very critical and criticized throughout in the field of education. Do you know what this is? Maths. Differential and inferential calculus. Why did you learn that? Trigonometry. I got a WhatsApp message last day. I have learned tan theta, sin theta, cos theta and all those thetas in school. And now the only theta I know is this. Isn't that? You have learned this in 11th and 12th, right? Do you really know why you learned all these things? And another significant aspect is, see, you just go to Google and you just type, what is prac? You don't have to even go into the practical use. You just type in what is PRAC. The first auto suggestion that you will get in Google is, what is the practical use of differentiation? One is maybe Google knows how to read your mind. No. This is because this is a question that so many students have been searching in Google. All the mathematicians have been searching in Google. Now just an example of why we teach, what we teach, how we teach, and where we really stand. So this is exactly where we'll have to think about alternatives. Be it pre-COVID, during COVID or post-COVID, is anything normal? Normalcy is relative. See, when you face the problem of the pandemic, you thought everything was normal before that. But if you ask the past generation, they will say nothing is normal now. Everything was normal at their particular point of time. And you will tell the next generation everything is normal now. It is not normal with you people. So this is exactly what happens. So what we need to do is, solutions are there, we need to try about alternatives. And today's class we'll be just looking into what are the alternatives that you will be able to look into to bring about slight changes in the field of education. We are not going to bring about revolutionary change, slight changes in the field of education, so that your students would start enjoying education. Because many of the teachers, many a times, this is a big crowd and I don't think I'll be able to read your minds, but at least I'll be able to read your face if the mask is not there. Now that is also, there is no scope for that. So you'll be cribbing within the mask and I will not be knowing it. But be very careful, people next to you would hear that. Anyway, come back there. So one of the, the problem is, we don't really make the students enjoy the process of learning. And every teacher would complain, I'm doing so much of hard work. Spending sleepless nights. You don't need to. My suggestion and my advice to all the teachers is never do hard work. He might never call me again. Because secretary might always be telling you that you should do hard work. No, things have changed. You need to adapt to the modern new era. Instead of hard work, you do smart work. That is exactly what you require in the present day. You don't need hard work. You need smart work. So that is exactly what we'll be trying to see. What is the difference between the way that you have done and what exactly things are. Certain perspectives on various aspects which would be based on certain anecdotes and certain activities. That will be the way that we'll be going with the class. Another one more. Okay, so one of the story is like the present situation. When you're talking about the new normal, I'll have to connect it with the present situation. We might also, feel or identify with the anecdote or the situation. There was a father and a son. A father normally used to come very late after work. So one day, the son was waiting for the father to come back. And once the father came back, the son asked him, "Father, you have been working in the office for so long. How much are you being paid for the work? How much do you get per hour of work that you put in office?" And normally, according to our salary, when we divide, it will be somewhere around 800. Father was first, he was very frustrated because coming from office is always not very easy after long hours of work. So he was frustrated. First he didn't answer, but later he thought, okay, why did he ask? He went and said to the son that I earn 800 rupees per hour. So automatically the next question came from the son. Father, can you give me rupees 300? Just imagine if your son come and ask you, when you're so frustrated and you say that you have earned 800 and he needs more than 1/3, 300 rupees. Chaos. That is exactly what happened. But after some time you realize, because anger is one thing that comes, spontaneous, overflow of your emotions. After all the anger subdues, automatically goes to the child and asks, why do you need 300? He said, I need 300. Father said, okay, I'll give you. And he just gave 300 because he hardly asked any money. And when he gave 300, he took out from his pocket a bunch of 100 rupees notes. Father was again angry. Why? When he has so much of money, why did you ask me 300? Then the son said, Father, I had only 500. I needed 300 rupees more to pay you for your 1 hour. I needed 300 rupees more to pay you for your 1 hour. A big question that we'll have to ask. How much of time do you spend with your children? So in class, you get such children. Parents are busy because Kerala is a land of paradoxes. Everybody is busy, but nobody comes on time. Everybody is in a hurry, but nobody will come on time. We all have knowledge, but no wisdom. What is the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Teachers. Very good. Exactly. Okay. Knowledge is what you know, and wisdom is what you do with what you know. Knowledge is what you know, and wisdom is what you know with what you do with what you know. Engineering graduates, they learn about electricity. Even we learn about power, ampere, and all these things, but you do not know how to fix a fuse in your house. You have knowledge. You will be able to calculate. V is equal to IR, V is equal to I by R and all these things, but you won't know how to fix a fuse. You don't even know how to remove a bulb. So that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Anyway, so just to, you might identify yourself with this, but don't feel bad, so that next time you change with the time. So spend some time with your students as well as with your kids. This is how you go back every evening from school. Today after my class, this is the way you will be going. All laughing. That is exactly what these people also do. They'll be laughing when you come to school. When you go from school. And tomorrow morning when you come for your next day of retreat. Or every day to school. And we say we value time. And we tell the students to be punctual. So, as a teacher, you should be able to judiciously use the time in a profitable manner. Only then you will be able to become an effective teacher. And from here, we'll go into the aspects of learning. What is learning? We have an Alvin Toffler who has said, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but who cannot learn, unlearn and relearn. So the whole process of education should be a process of learning, and when needed, you need to unlearn what you have learned and you'll have to relearn something new. Only then you will be able to adapt to the different changing situations and maintain normalcy. So you'll have to learn, unlearn and relearn. For that you need to have a change of mindset. This is a small exercise. I hope all of you have paper and pen with you. Draw a square, a big square, and divide the square into 4 equal squares. You draw this first. Draw this outside square first and divide the square into 4 equal squares. Is it clear? And then find the center point of this square, square number 1. And draw a 1/4 of a square and shade it like this. Square number 1, square number 2, square number 3 and square number 4. You shade these 3 squares and concentrate only on the white part. Finish drawing? Because when I asked your secretary, he said there will be 350 students, 350 participants. So I thought it is very difficult to take photostat. So that's why I brought it like this. Even otherwise, distributing the photostats would take more time. Finish drawing this. Few people have been drawing in the air, and you complain that the students are not obedient. Now, fine, don't worry. Okay, all great people who have done and all great people who have been drawing in the air, you divide this first white part. This is the first square. Can you see my cursor there? Yes. Yeah. Okay, the first part into 2 equal parts. Divide the first square into 2 equal parts. This is a problem with this eye stage that I won't be able to see what exactly I have done. Reshma, you don't have to do it. You have done it earlier. Yeah. Finished. Can you tell me at least one person who have, yeah, like this. Very good, yeah. 2 equal parts. Now you will be thinking, why did this person come here to show such simple aspects? Now the next second square into 3 equal parts. Into 3 equal parts. Very good. Now she is finished. We are also finished. Very nice. How? Done. Simple. How are you? Now, the third square into 4 equal parts. I'll give you only 1 minute. Into 4 equal parts. Anybody who has finished? Finished. Very nice. Can you just show me? No, you sit there, I'll come there. This. No, see, this is the 4 equal parts, right? Triangle. See, these 2 triangles are smaller when compared to these 2. Because the square, this is half of the square, right?
Yeah.
And this is shaded. So automatically this will be only half of the half.
Not the remaining. I thought the remaining should be divided into 4 equal parts.
Yeah, remaining. This is shaded part. Okay, so this triangle would always be bigger than this triangle. Because see, this is half of the square. Okay, in this half, this much is shaded. So this will automatically be small. Yeah. See, one clue, she has done it, but slightly wrong. See, you can draw it like this. Okay, but always remember, these triangles would be bigger than these triangles. I'll try to draw. Yeah. See, this is the way you have drawn. Okay, but always remember, this is an interactive board, but I don't have the software in my system because each interactive board is different. Okay, see, this is half of the square. So automatically these triangles would be bigger than these 2 triangles. So it is not equal parts. So you keep on trying. Oh. You tell your students to keep on trying. Okay. Is it possible? Yeah. Is it possible? No. See, at certain points of time, when you have certain hurdles in life, you have a feeling that it is not possible. And you tell the students, there is nothing impossible. Okay, so that is why, see, you have to bring about. Fine, I'll show you the answer because we don't have much of our time. I'm sure nobody had thought about anything like this. Have you? Okay. Now your next challenge is divide this square into 5 equal parts. Into 5 equal parts. Very good. Achan has already done it. That is a practical knowledge. That is the difference between teachers and priests. Yeah, because they have more practical knowledge and they apply the knowledge and they are the people who knows how to solve problems. We create problems and they solve problems. He got the answer. It's very simple. The problem is, see, first, this is the mindset. This is how you deal with many things, and many times you're not very successful. It was so simple. Only thing is, my exercise complicated your thinking. First one was very easy. So you thought, the second one was also easy. So you thought the third one would be very easy. But then you realize that it is not very easy, it is complicated. And automatically that complication transferred to the next situation, which was not true. The next situation was very easy. Few people would not like it because you might feel that, it is not very good to make you realize that you didn't know it. Right? Self-reflection is always good. Self-reflection is always good. And as Achana said, I just remember one story. In US, they kept brain for sale. Brain, the kidney inside your head, yeah? Okay. Brain for sale. And one person went to buy this brain. And they said, this brain is 10,000 rupees, and the next brain is 50,000 rupees, and the next brain, the last brain is almost 1 lakh rupees. And then I asked why? It's all the same thing. Why 20,000, 10,000 for this and 20,000 or 1 lakh for that? He said that 1 lakh, 10,000 is of a scientist that is being used and ruptured. And the last one, which is for sale for 1 lakh, is of the teacher, which normally doesn't work. Always at rest. Because you expect the students to be active, and you always remain. I didn't tell that, you said that. Okay, fine. So I hope, so this is when you'll have to think differently. Not all situations are the same. Let not your experience in one situation always bring about a thought process or your mindset in another situation. See each situation as a new situation. Only then you will be able to solve and you will be able to maintain your emotional equilibrium. So learn, unlearn and relearn, and you'll have to bring about a change in the mindset. And the new normal in education, one of the major problems that we faced, the areas which was affected, these are all theories which need not be explained too much. Economy, business, and other areas, health and wellness, because most of the people have post-COVID health issues. A majority has post-COVID health issues. Another area which was affected was education and learning. We have experienced that. We'll look into that in detail. Another area was science and technology. There was a boom in the field of science and technology. Infrastructure and resources have improved. One area which has deteriorated is spirituality and religion. People now don't tend to go to the churches because they need online masses at home. It is more convenient. You can have your breakfast, you can have your tea and participate in the holy mass. That is the situation that is normally going. Anyway, now we come to education and learning. The biggest problem that you are going to face is the students are distanced from the education system, from you, from their colleagues and everybody, from the peer team, everybody. So your responsibility is to bring back, to reconnect the students. To reconnect the students to the education system, to the teachers and to their peers. And the next is cancellation and procrastination. Because assignments online need not be done on time unless you are very good in technology. Unless you are very good in technology. Students have all sorts of techniques, to cancel or to overcome the various aspects. The next is emergence of alternate ways. We have had a number of new alternate ways, and these would bring about, during the COVID, the challenges were online resources, internet access, which still has a problem, gadgets and devices, ICT skills, transaction concerns. These things we have almost overcome to a great extent, and offline resources also we had certain problems. Another problem was the stakeholder preparedness. Now again, post-COVID, again we'll have the same problem, the stakeholder preparedness, how much the school is prepared to bring the students back with all the COVID protocols and to relink them with the system of education. Students' readiness, how far they are ready to come back to school, and teacher readiness, because we have already entered the sphere of techno-pedagogy. So you cannot do away with this. So you'll have to follow a system of blended learning and also the parent involvement. The present post-COVID challenges to de-link students from gadgets. Because earlier, we never used to permit the students to bring mobiles to the campus, not to use the mobiles at home and things like that. During COVID, you link them to the gadgets, or you chain them to the gadgets. Now, it is high time that you de-link students from gadgets. How do you do that? What is your suggestion?
George, there's a call for you.
Sorry, yeah. See, technology has its own advantages as well as disadvantages, and one of the disadvantages is de-linking. Too much of dependence on the gadgets, and technology itself has a solution to that. All that you need to know is how to de-link. It's simple. You have a...
George, there's a call for you. George, there's a call.
I'm sorry. You have an app in Play Store where you can go to. I'll show you. How many of you are aware of that app? It is known as Family Link. Elgam. It is known as a Family Link. You can go to the Play Store. You can download the app called Family Link, and you can monitor the mobiles of your kids as well as your students. All you have to do is train the parents to do the monitoring. You can fix their bedtime. You can fix the number of hours that they'll have to go into Google. You can have restrictions on the apps that they download, especially games that they download, and all the restrictions you can pose using this. Yeah. Net speed. Yeah, okay. Fine. This is the app. See, this was one problem that I faced with my younger son. His screen time was 14 hours a day during the COVID time, because he has almost 5 hours of class, and the rest will be on games, because we'll also be busy online, so we'll never be able to monitor. And that was then I looked into this. It is known as the Family Link. All you have to do is just go to your Play Store, just type in Family Link, and you can download this app, and then you can add your family members into this app. And once you add, see, you get all these settings. See, today he has already gone in 34 minutes. I know. Okay, and he was in YouTube for 34 minutes, and he just signed in for Google Play Music, and he came out without using it. See, you can monitor and know where he is. He's at home, don't worry. So you'll be able to monitor your child. And you can also set your sleep time. That is, mobile won't work. It will be locked once you set your time. See, today I have given only 45 minutes. And you can go to edit limits. That is a bit slow. Each day you can set your timing. And for each app you can set your timing. So that is how you will be able to monitor the students, and you will know which are the systems that he has signed in today. What are the things that he has done? What are the sites that he has browsed? Everything you will get. So make sure that you train your parents, make sure that they download this app and they use it, provided, and you tell the students that, the parents should tell the students that this is something that has been done by the school. Otherwise, they won't allow it. They won't allow. Okay, because students are very smart. Because I remember when I started using mobile, I used to put a pattern lock. Now I put face recognition. Because pattern lock, kids are very smart. When my younger child, he is in 8th now. When he was in 4th, he just came to me in the morning when I was reading my newspaper, and he said, my mother wants to see, that is my wife wants the phone, please unlock it. Okay, I thought, okay, wife needs it. I just unlocked it and gave it to him. And after some time, no, this thing. I just say, where did you go? When I went, I saw he went outside the house and he is keeping the mobile like this to the sunlight. For what? To identify the pattern. To identify the pattern. So you're dealing with such people. Always remember, they are techno citizens. And now he is in 8th. There is no point in locking my mobile. He'll break all the locks, because we have something called ethical hacking courses online. I don't know why they offer it online. At least they should give age restrictions for that. And my child has learned ethical hacking online. He's only in the 8th. I'm sure he'll hack all my... Yeah. So that is the type of students that you will be dealing with in school. Should be very, very careful. Maintaining some degree of remote learning, you have to, because online learning has to go. That is why we have a new concept known as the blended learning. You'll have to blend the traditional conventional learning with the new technological aids. You need to do that. Another important aspect is prioritizing social and emotional learning. This is one area which is lacking after the COVID. In the post-COVID era, the social aspects and emotional aspects should be taken care of by the teachers. Re-establishing classroom routines, all these things are the responsibility, and addressing interrupted learning. Learning was interrupted for the last 2 years. So we need to address the various problems. So this is our responsibility, and here how we go about it. So that is the first and foremost aspect is, what is learning? We teach in the B.Ed curriculum, learning is the modification of behavior. Learning is the modification of behavior. Exactly. You have to modify the behavior of the students. And for behavior modification, we should develop good thoughts. Thoughts would lead to words, and words would lead to action. So your responsibility is to develop good thoughts among the students in order to develop good behavior. As such, your responsibility, first one is, you'll have to intervene. You'll have to have strategies to develop the behavior of a student, and you should be able to modify the behavior of the students. And there's a psychologist, Raymond Cattell, who has said that there are two traits with behavior. One is the surface traits and the other one is the source trait. What the teachers will have to look into is the source trait rather than the surface trait. But many times in schools and in all the institutions, we look at the surface traits and not the source traits. In school, at the early stages of development of a child, you should be more concerned about the source traits. See, feign positivity. You speak only positive, but you are dangerously negative inside. So the inside should change. Poisonous snake inside. And we Mallus, Malayalis are known as snakes. You go outside Kerala, you ask, they'll tell you, they call you snakes. Why? Because you go to any state outside Kerala, they'll tell you, if you see a snake and a Malayali, first kill the Malayali and then leave the snake free. Because Malayalis are more poisonous than snakes on the concept. It's left to you. You can decide. You can have a self-reflection how poisonous we are. Okay. So here, what we have to do is, you'll have to be a behavior manager. You'll have to modify the behavior of the child. You should be in a position to bring about, intervene, develop strategies to modify the behavior of the child. Will you do that? For that, you should be a role model. In order to develop behavior of the child, you need to be a role model. Can you just lift your right hand? All are sleeping. Your right hand. Now, people are thinking, which is my right? Yeah. Don't worry, your right hand. Touch your head. Touch your nose. Touch your ears. Touch your head. Touch your nose. Don't worry. Most of you, for a second, this was your nose. Why? I modeled. I did a mistake. I am a teacher. And you will repeat, your students will also repeat the same mistake. So as teachers, many a times teachers would say, do as I say. But you should develop to a position where you should be able to say, do as I do, rather than do as I say. Do as I do, rather than do as I say. So that should be the way that you should be able to. You should model. You should be a good role model. And many of you are teaching adults. Why? One is, children or young adults learn only when they want to. Second one is, when they feel they need to. So in our classes, we should develop this atmosphere where there is a felt need from the part of the students. The students should feel the need for learning. Only then you will be able to bring about effective teaching. How to go about it? Help the learner to cope with learning, make learning enjoyable, ease the burden, encourage innovation, promote student engagement, and utilize online resources and tools. These are the basic things that you will be able to bring about so that learning is more enjoyable and the students would feel a need to learn. And here we need to develop the subject, different competencies in order to ensure that one is the subject competency that everybody of us, we all have, because your certificates are sufficient testimony that you have subject knowledge. But we do not know what is 25 into 25. We do not know what is the cubic feet of a tree. We do not know how to find the carpet area of this building. But we have subject competency. Forget it, don't worry. Okay, I'm not going deep into that. The next is the transactional competency. Every teacher should have good transactional competency. Unless you clearly transact your curriculum, your content, students will be confused. I'll just give you a small exercise. Can you draw a small horizontal line? A small horizontal line. A small horizontal line. And now, write the first and last letter of your first name. Wait, I didn't finish. This is the problem with the process of education. Education is a system where knowledge transfers from the tip of the tongue of the teacher to the tip of the pen of the student without any cognitive activity. We are all in a hurry. Okay, you have drawn a horizontal line. Now you have to do, what you have to do is, I'll finish and then you start doing. Write the first and last letter of your first name on the left and right side of the line. Don't worry, I just asked. If anybody has an answer like this, just for self-reflection. Few, it's true that you do not have, but at least few have. Okay, for them, you'll have to develop your vocabulary content. Okay, you'll have to develop your vocabulary content because this is a vertical line. What I asked you to draw is a horizontal line. So, one of the biggest aspects in transaction is communication. And for communication, you need to have word power, vocabulary power. Okay, you should not confuse between vertical and horizontal. Fine. Anybody with this answer? Nobody? All of you? Very good. Anybody with a different answer? Other than this? There are one person at the back. 1, 2, 2. Can you tell me what it is? Yeah. Oh, why came this side? That is, don't worry, that is because your name would be starting with Y. Don't worry. I asked to write your name. I didn't ask you to write. Yeah, but don't worry about it. You have just one letter on one side and the other, another one letter on the other side. Yeah, tell me. Very good. 2 letters on the left side and 2 letters on the right side. Very good. How many of you have that? Very good. Okay. These are the people who have inferential comprehension. As teachers, when teaching concept, you should ensure that the child develops inferential comprehension. This is the answer to the first letter of your first name on the left and the last letter of your first name on the right. But what I asked you to do is the first and last letter of your first name on the left and right side of the line. Reflect, transform. Hope you understood. And you tell the students they don't comprehend. You just have to check whether there is comprehension. All that the teachers would do is, did you understand? In Kerala, they understand. We have all sorts of this thing. Do you think the students would say that they didn't understand? By chance, if they say that you didn't understand, what you would say? You should have been attentive. You should have been attentive. Very nice. Few people would always say the truth. Okay, yeah. This is exactly what all of us do, but But many times we don't speak the truth. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. So this is how your transactional competency has to improve. The way you say, the way, like for example, I'll give you many times, don't think I am against science and against maths. Even I am a science graduate. I'll just give you a small exercise, in the sense of calculation exercise, and then we'll see what answer you get. See, three friends, we went to a restaurant and had a tea and vada. You know what is vada, right? And the total bill came up to somewhere around 25. 25, okay. Don't have to write it. You are people who have passed your grade 10, right? So you should be able to do mental calculation. Yeah. And you expect the students to do mental calculation. So the total came up to 25. So it was a Dutch system that we pool in the same amount of money. So I gave 10, my friends also gave 10 each. So 10 each comes to 30. So we gave it to the waiter, and the waiter came back with 5 1 rupee coin. 25 balance is 5 1 rupee coin, right? Okay. The waiter came back with 5 1 rupee coin. So I took 1 rupee, my friend took 1 rupee, and another friend took 1 rupee. The balance is 2. The 2 we gave it to the waiter as tip. Okay. So on my way back, somehow my calculation, when you go back, you will think of what happened exactly and how much did I spend. Did I spend more or did I spend less? And I did a calculation. So, we got back 1 rupee, right? So we paid 9. Okay, so 9 into 3, 27. 9 into 3, 27. 2 rupee tip we gave it to the waiter. 27 plus 2, 29. Okay, where did that 1 rupee go? See, 27 plus 2 rupee tip we gave to the waiter. So 27 plus 2 is 29. But see, 1 rupee. Where did it go? Mathematicians? 27 plus 2. Training college teachers, I didn't see you pulling up. Yeah, they be very discussed. They are always people who always keep on discussing because they are teachers of teachers. Yeah. Where did that 1 rupee go, ma'am?
I was not observing my brain cells.
Oh, yeah. She was thinking of putting her brain for sale. So she wanted more money. So she is not giving any activity to her brain. Very nice. Sleeping partner in the system of education. Thank you for adding to the entertainment. Yeah. Where did that 1 rupee go? Smart students used to say, sir would have taken it. Okay. See, this is the way you communicate. This is how many times maths become so confusing. If you think a bit logically, this is the way you speak, you communicate to the students and make so much of confusion in the minds of the students, they will never be able to think logically. Total amount is only 27. And in that 27 only we gave 2 rupee tip to the waiter. Yes. I was thinking about it. Yeah, I had the answer with me. This is exactly what one of my chemistry professors said. He asked the chemical formula of cyanide, and one of my friends, he got up and said, it's at the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming out. He said, go out and spit, otherwise you will die. Yeah, come back. The next area where we have to develop is the techno competency. I'll just give you a few tips on technological field, which is actually my area, where it will be useful for you. See, now we have reached education 4.0. Like Web 4 tools, in technology we have gone from Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, and now we have reached Web 4. We have the augmented reality and virtual reality. In the same manner, industry has reached Industry 4.0. Education has also reached 4.0. 1.0 was lecture, which is no more used. 2, internet enabled, that is also gone. 3, knowledge producing education, where education was considered as a knowledge society, where we have to create your own knowledge, where intellectual property rights were all given more importance. Now, we have gone to innovation. We have gone from invention to innovation, practicing new methodology and techniques, and that is exactly where technology has come in. We have been advising and all the teachers in the various areas on adapting to technology, but it was fortunately, unfortunately, it is with the onset of COVID that teachers became techno-competent. So that is exactly where you have to, because in post-COVID, you have to go for a blended learning. A blended learning is a system where you have to blend both the human resources as well as the technological resources. And also another aspect which each one of you have to go to is the flipped learning, which is a new system of education. Flipped learning. Flipped learning is a system. Many times the concepts and all this teaching happens in school, and you give all the assignments and homeworks at home. That's why it is called homework, right? And many times what happens is, when the students have a confusion with homework is an additional thing in order to reinforce what they have learned in class. If they have a confusion, what will happen? Nothing will happen. It will go without being attended. So this is where flipped learning, you give the theory at home. The previous day, they'll read the theory, and the activities and assignments you can give it in class, in your own presence. So if they have any doubts, because you keep on giving theory, students won't ask you any doubts. But when they ask them to apply the knowledge, they'll have doubts and they'll ask you questions. So this is what you call the flipped learning. നമ്മൾ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പഠിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന തിയറി മൊത്തം തലേ ദിവസമേ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് കൊടുക്കുക. കുട്ടികൾ അത് വായിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് വന്നിട്ട് you give the activities in class, the homeworks and assignments in class, so that they'll be able to interact with you and they'll be able to clarify their doubts in class. That is what the flipped learning is all about. And then you have a number of aspects. Another thing which Kerala University has already brought in, that is the blog for teachers and students. There's a very good site. It's a small website where you'll be able to post all your aspects so that students will be able to take all the information from the blogs. You can give question papers. I'll just show you a small example of my blog. See, you'll get all the resources that is required for the B.Ed course in my blog. Like you go to B.Ed. When I came to Kerala University, I started in Marthoma Teachers Training College, Rani. When I came to Kerala University, one of the biggest problems that I found in college was the previous question papers were always filed, but many question papers were not filed in order. And students are very, this thing not to take photostats, just to tear it and take it home. So many of the question papers were missing. And that is when I thought of compiling all the question papers of the B.Ed curriculum and uploading it in our site. So that is where I started my first site, and then later I linked it to the blog. So you go to this blog, as teachers you can give all the question papers. The students will be able to download all the question papers. You can give digital resources, you can give anything, you can give even online test using your blog. You can start developing your own blogs, because many times now people coming out of the Kerala University would be knowing how to develop a blog. Others can use their resources, or you can go to my blog. I have given online classes on how to prepare. All these online aspects I have given in my blog, so you can just go through that and see if you can do it. Okay, you can give even online test. One of the things, innovative aspects that we introduced in the Kerala University in 2015, because that was actually thinking about alternatives. In one of the Board of Studies meeting, when we were asked to prepare a 2-year curriculum, one of the biggest criticism, one of the biggest concern was, see, when you go in for 2-year curriculum, students would lose 3 years. I asked why? Because the results, the valuation. So if the exam is happening in April, valuation will happen in June, because teachers normally don't work during summer vacation. So once the evaluation in June, results will be out only by July. And the problem with teaching professionals, all the posts will be filled by me, because classes starts in school by me. So one of the biggest problem is to complete the exam and give the results before the starting of the school. So one of the decision was not to have an exam at the 4th semester. He said, no, if you don't have an exam, it's very difficult to get the students to school, to college. Even now it is very difficult in many places, yeah. So then I suggested, see, we have something called the online exam. We have an online test, you'll be able to. And my chairman, who was very, liberal, he asked me, Sir George, is it possible? I said, it is possible. But we should convince the controller. And we went to the controller, and controller first he was very hesitant, but then later he said, okay, fine, you just give me a small sample of an online test. And then we showed him a sample, and it was Kerala University to first introduce an online test at the university level. And during COVID, it was very beneficial. By March 18th, we had the COVID problem, and the 4th semester students were in our college. And in April, we could conduct the exam, and within 4 days, we could give the results. So that is how you have to change. Use of technology to make sure that everything happens effectively, you need to go into the technological aspects once again. So you can start off blogs, all those things, apps that you can use. See, one of the biggest problem with online and preparing notes and all these things is typing. Many of us don't know typing. Do you know typing? Earlier, the previous generation after 10th, once you finish your SSLC, all of them used to go for typing classes. Now you don't have typewriter and you don't know how to type, but you're very fast in mobile. Okay, but typing normally is a problem, burden to the students as well as the teachers, because when we introduced project in B.Ed curriculum, one of the biggest problems with the students was typing. I said this is very easy to type, you don't have to, you just have to speak. You don't need to have to, you just go to Google. These are the small apps which would be useful for you. You have something called the Google Drive, right? Just go to Google Drive. All of you have a Gmail ID, right? With a Gmail ID, you can go to a Google Drive. Once you sign into Google Drive, in the left top you see something called the new. Can you see that? Is it visible? Okay. Few people are like, what's happening? See, in that, you just take Google Docs. Google Docs is similar to your Word document. Click Google Docs, automatically you will get a new document. Yeah. Excuse me. What? In tools, you just click tools. There are a number of extensions and a number of tools. I'll just show you one which would be useful for you as a teacher. In that, you go to voice typing. You just go to voice typing, you get a microphone icon at the left. Okay, and you click on that and you start speaking. All that would be automatically typed in your document. Hello, how are you? Is it easy to type? Another problem is with the font in Malayalam. See, you can select any language. Even if you do not know how to type in Malayalam or Hindi, all you have to do is just click this drop arrow. Can you see that? Yeah, click this drop arrow and you select your language of preference. I'll just show you Malayalam. You click Malayalam. You click the microphone icon and start speaking in Malayalam. It will be typed in Malayalam. Hello, endokkundu vishesham. Is it easy? It's very simple. Okay. So this is how in Google Apps, you'll be able to type. Instead of offing that microphone, I off this microphone. So typing is very easy. And plus, you'll be able to even translate from one language to another language. Simple, you go to Drive. See, these 9 spots, you go to Google Translate. Click this, Google Translate. You select the language English and you just type or you speak through the microphone. And automatically you select the language to which it should be translated. See, English is translated to Malayalam. It's very easy to translate whatever you want. And it's also easy to translate materials, PDF materials to any language of your choice. So that is one of the app that can be used in your this thing. The second is whiteboard. One of the biggest problem in online teaching was having whiteboard. All of you know about whiteboard. Even in Google you have an app called Jamboard. Jamboard. How many of you have used Jamboard? You should have been using it for your online teaching, especially maths teachers and science teachers. How many of you have used whiteboard? Whiteboard FI. What is the difference between whiteboard and Jamboard? Why did you use whiteboard instead of Jamboard? Because you have Google, you normally go into, do you have an LMS system in your school? Or do you use Google Classroom? You use Google Classroom. So Google Classroom now automatically will be using Jamboard. Why did you go for whiteboard? Somebody told that whiteboard is good and we went to do it. Don't worry. See, whiteboard FI, one advantage is you just have to Google whiteboard.fi and you'll reach this page. You just give a name to your class and you just start your class, create your new class. See, one advantage to whiteboard is even students can use this whiteboard. Your students' whiteboard would be different from your teacher's whiteboard. In Jamboard, the teachers and students will be doing in the same board. Whereas in whiteboard, you'll have different boards for each student. All you have to do is just type in this URL and you will be able to open your own whiteboard. And in your whiteboard, you will be able to write whatever you want. And this would be visible to the students. And students can answer, like if you ask a question, automatically students would answer. So if you toggle whiteboard now, since you have not signed in, when you toggle whiteboard, you can see all the students' whiteboard here. And you can see the students' answers there. Another advantage to whiteboard is you can save this as PDF. You can save it and keep it to you, all your classwork. And plus, you have a number of advantages. You can draw graphs, you can insert images, you can do whatever you want in whiteboard. So this is one of the app that you can use in your classroom. Screencast-O-Matic is also another app where you can use your screen to record online e-content. Okay. Digital text. See, many times the textbooks may not be very interesting to the students, so you can go for digital text. One advantage of digital text, all these things, we don't have much time to deal. You can go to my blog and all these things are there, how to prepare a digital text. See, the advantage of digital text is, you might say screen time, what about the screen time of students? You don't need to have screen time. When you have digital text, all you have to do is just give read to me. The computer will read. No, I didn't have the audio connector. You just go to my this thing and you can see, it'll read. You don't have to even look at the screen, it'll read all the content to you. Another advantage of digital textbook is you can include, you can insert video, you can insert link, you can give test, anything in digital content. You can play video. So automatically students will be able to view the video of your class inside the digital text itself. Okay. So these are the aspects that would go, I'm sorry. Augmented reality, you might have known how to create augmented reality. This is also something that you can do. There's an app called Arlupa. See, AR Lupa, augmented reality Lupa. You can download from your Play Store. And you have a number of categories. You have technology, you have science, you have maths, you have animals. Here I'll just select animals. I've taken animals and that I have selected tiger. All you have to do is once you click on animals, you get all the different animals. Here you select tiger and all you have to do is in your mobile, this is an app that you can download in your mobile. All you have to do is just rotate your camera to the area where you want, the environment where you want the tiger to come. Automatically augmented reality of a tiger would come and then you can ask the students or even you can go and sit and explain about this tiger. The students would have a virtual reality.
You type in your email ID and your password.
And here you have a shutter. Once you see, I have brought, I think I have.
Where you have to create your
Yeah,
account.
that's my son
Here,
who would be explaining about the
have to give
tiger. So this would be a virtual reality which you would be able to bring to class. So you have to, all you have to do is just go to AR Lupa, AR Lupa, that is augmented reality Lupa.
that you continue will be taken.
And you will be able to bring augmented reality to your class. Another aspect is Ed Puzzle, because many times you give videos to your students, right? To view online videos to your students, but do you know whether they are viewing it or not? What you do is even when you join MOOC classes, you just drag the cursor and you finish your videos. But Ed Puzzle gives you restrictions where the students will not be able to drag the cursor. Students will have to answer questions in between, and only then they will be able to complete the.
Select any of these templates and click on create blog. Here,
See, this is one video that I have given to my students.
you can either
That's a topic on Vivekananda.
post
See, you can see,
when you post, or
you will get a report of the students. How many students have not watched? How many students have watched only for a bit of a time?
foundation of your
50%, 100%. You will get all the details.
for the designing of your blog.
And you click on the student, you will get whether the answers were correct or not.
Automatically, you will be
Okay,
taken to
this is
another
one
page where you
app
have to design the
which is known as Ed Puzzle, where you'll have, see, you'll be able to add questions to it,
You can add themes.
and you won't be able to drag this.
And
Students won't be able to drag it. It won't work.
you can automatically
And all these droplets are questions which they have to answer. So this is another app called Ed Puzzle.
publish.
And then we have a number of apps. Since we don't have much of a time, you just go through, you explore the various apps that is available, because we need to keep yourself updated with the technological aspects. Another aspect is the management competency. Again, how to solve problems. I think with two more. Yeah. Okay, this is one problem that you have to do.
Add images. And he was deeply.
The 9-spot problem. Have any of you done this?
Here, you have an icon. As a teacher, you have a link.
Okay, this is the 9 dots. Please draw these 9 dots. 9 spots or 9 dots. And you'll have to join the 9 dots with 4 continuous straight lines. 4. Join all the 9 spots with 4 continuous straight lines. Continuous straight lines means the terminal point of one line should be the starting point of the next line. That is, you should not lift the pen. It should be continuous. 4 continuous straight lines. Is it possible? Yeah, can you just show me? Huh? Don't fold the paper. Without folding the paper. She has done all this when she was a child, because that was the time when we used to fold the paper and draw things. Yeah. How many lines are there? Just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. 4 continuous straight lines. 4 lines. Now, when you give an exercise to the students, there will be quite a lot of restrictions. I think she has finished. No. But your smile thought. Okay. 4 continuous straight lines. Yeah. Since we don't have.
Blogs, especially
Yeah.
blogs, have been very useful in both teaching and learning.
See,
From my experience as a
I'll just,
teacher for the past
because what you need is the essence of the exercise. All of you have started like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 dot out.
very useful
Then thinking straight is not good. So,
because there is provision for uploading videos, audios.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Moreover,
1 out.
advantages that I've seen is it is interactive.
1 person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She didn't learn counting in school.
Teachers to give it a try.
No, see, anybody?
Teaching, learning.
Very good. Can you show that? There's one person at the back. Inferential comprehension even after class. I asked you, can you show that? She just lifted. When you show something, it should be visible. Okay, don't worry. No, just, I'm sorry, don't feel bad. Okay, no, I'll just show you the answer. Just check whether it is correct. Okay. One, two, three, four. Is it possible? Now, what happened is, your thoughts were limited with these 4 points. And that is exactly why you didn't get the answer. Always think answers might be outside the box. Only if you think outside the box, you will be able to reach a solution. All the problems are problems because you do not know how to solve it. And problem is a problem because it has a solution. All you have to do is identify the solution. So the next level of challenge is, can you join these 9 lines with 3 straight lines, 3 continuous straight lines. Three continuous straight lines. Continuous. You cannot draw like this. That is not continuous, ma'am. 1, 2, 3. Very smart. But that is not continuous. That it is not straight lines. Are you mathematics? No. Like I had a physical director who used to say, stand in a straight circle. And I was just always pondering how you can stand in a straight circle. Yeah, come on, back. Is it possible? With 4 lines, it was very difficult. Is it possible? Done it. Sir, that is not continuous. See, I said you cannot draw like this because it is not continuous. Sir said you can draw like this. Very good. Very good. Subject? Exactly, that is why. No, see, those are the people who really need to solve problems. And higher the education you have, higher the level of teaching, you create more problems. So that is why she solved it very easily. See, I said think out of the box. 1, 2, 3. Is it possible? So everything is possible. But if I give you another challenge, I don't think you will be able to do it. Can you draw this? Can you link all these 9 spots with one single straight line? Single straight line. Is it possible? No. Not all things are possible. Certain things there will be certain things which are not possible, right? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah. So there's no point in taking class, because I've said there's nothing impossible, and they're saying there are impossibles. I'm just checking whether traveling so much of kilometers, coming here and taking class for you has any use, and you said it is not possible. In the beginning, before 4 slides, I said there's nothing impossible, everything is possible. And just before this, I said a problem is a problem because it has a solution. All that you have to do is think out of the box to find the solution, and they say it is impossible. Is it possible? At least say yes. Yeah. Yeah, all you have to draw is a thick line. Instead of pen, you use a brush. Simple. Did I ask you to draw with a pen? No. A thick line. So is it possible? So everything is possible. Now another competency is working with parents. You have to have cooperation with parents, community, and all these things. We need to be very cooperative. I'll give you one more exercise, and with 2 slides I'll finish, another 10 minutes. Okay, this is an exercise where you'll have to team up with your neighbor. Team up with your neighbor. Okay, you're a team. And this exercise is start only after I tell you. Okay. This exercise is a competition. Is a competition where one person will have to hold your fist very tight. Okay. and your partner, who's a member of a team, will have to somehow open it. But as teachers, a word of caution, no using nails, no biting, no pins. Okay, so one person will have to hold your fist. You decide, you're a team. Fist very tightly, and the other person will have to somehow open it. Start. And the team, your time starts now. Yeah. And the team who opens first would win. Very good. Shh. Listen. Very good. Yeah, all of you have done. Shh. I said with parents, there should be cooperation. With community, there should be cooperation. Okay. This is the way I test whether you are here. Don't worry. Few people's thoughts are louder. Yeah, come back. See, I said you are a team. You partner with your neighbor. Words. You are a team. Number one. You partner with your neighbor. This is a competition. Whoever opens first would win. But you missed few words. Team, partner. You wanted to win. You didn't want the team to win. Hope you understood. എനിക്ക് ജയിക്കണം. മറ്റേത് എൻ്റെ പാർട്ട്ണറാണെന്നുള്ളത് മറന്നുപോയി. This is exactly what happens in all the staff rooms in Kerala and all the households in Kerala between the husband and wife. വിട്ടുകൊടുക്കത്തില്ല. ഞാൻ പിടിച്ച മുയലിന് 3 കൊമ്പ്. Very good. Why? How did Malayalis get this? Does any rabbit has a കൊമ്പ്? 3 ചെവി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നെങ്കിലും there's some logic to it. Don't worry. Okay. See, many times to be successful, especially as teachers, especially as a group, especially as an institution, you'll have to sacrifice. If it is for the success of a team. So next time when you want to fight with your colleague in staff room or your partner at home, always remember, sacrifice. Things will be very easy. You would have won within a fraction of a second. You could have just opened it. Both of us would win. Instead of that, no, I won't. The other person somehow. That's why I said, because in one of the teacher training institutions, one teacher with long nails. Yeah. That's why don't use your nails. Yeah. Okay. See, this is why many times I showed you this picture of cooperation and you didn't. So that is how many times you have to. Another biggest problem that normally what we face, we'll be very happy is the teacher, burnout, too much of stress from the part of the parents, from the part of the management, from the part of the head of the department, or from the part of the principal, everywhere. Always coercive forces. And normally there's a tendency for burnout. But many times what I would say is, never let another person to decide your emotions. You should have your own freedom. And there are many aspects. Many times it could be because of prejudices. Many times it could be because of your prejudice. It may not be the truth. Principal would have asked you something and you say, no, this principal doesn't like me. You come to a conclusion, you have your own justification that this principal does not like me. And after that, whatever the principal says, you will think that is because he does not like me. Okay, that is because, many times, I'll just show you an act, you should tell me what I'm doing. Can you tell me what I was doing? Impatience, very good. Waiting for someone, waiting for Godo. Okay. Waiting for someone. Tension, tensed, very good. Trying to find solution for something. Worried about time. Very good. Worried about time. He is having a tough time. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Worried about time. Anything else?
Pretending as if you are very busy.
Huh?
Pretending as if you are very busy.
Very nice. Pretending as if I'm very busy. Exactly. Because many times when you call someone, they say, no, see, I'm in a meeting. What meeting? Nothing. He'll be sitting at home and watching TV. Yeah. Come back. Yeah. So pretending. Very nice. I'll come back to that. Anything else? You know what? My students, what they say is, I was waiting in front of the labor room. You people have not thought about it because you are inside the labor room and you should ask them. Okay, anyway, come back here. See, now, things apart, jokes apart, what did I do? What did I do? Who knows best what I did? Only me. Very good. You acted. Yeah, because I said I am going to act. And what did you say? That I was impatient, I was pretending, I was waiting for someone, I was waiting for the bus. Fine, this is exactly what comes to our mind. These things comes to our mind because of our previous experiences, our immediate experiences. Don't judge a person based on our experiences. Hope you understood. I said I am going to act. I was acting. And you said I was waiting for someone. I was impatient. I was pretending. Hope you understood. To know best what I was doing, you should come and ask me what I was doing. Did you ask that? No. You jump into conclusions. In class, with respect to your students also, you do the same thing. Based on your previous experience, based on your prejudices, you go for justifications. You judge the students. Hope you understand. So make sure that you don't have such prejudices. Once you don't have prejudices, most of your burnout could be overcome. And why worry? Many a times the burnout, one of the causes of burnout is worry. You always keep on worrying. Okay. My solution to worry is, do you have a problem in life? Do you have a problem in life? All of us have problems, right? Otherwise it is not called life. Otherwise you are not human beings. So you have a problem in life. I'll give you a solution. If it is yes, then my next question is, can you do something about it? Can you do something about it? Yes, very good. Yes. Then my question is, why worry? But you keep on worrying because you have a solution to your problem. And in case, if your answer is no, then again my question is, why worry? And a rare situation where you don't have a problem, then again, why worry? But we keep on worrying. Okay, so always try to be happy. If you have a problem, you try to solve the problem. And if you can't solve the problem, leave it. And if you don't have a problem, don't worry about it. Hope you understood. So don't worry and be positive. The last aspect is how to become positive. It is based on your perspective. How is this image? Not very good, right? But you look it from another angle. It's all based on your perspective. Can be one of the most beautiful smiles. So either you turn your head or you turn the image, the situation. Okay. So, a food for thought. The best teachers teach from the heart and not from the book. So you should try to bring about a change in your mindset, change in your activities, innovate and think about alternatives, how to bring about a change in the system of education. With that, I think I would stop now. If you have any questions. Normally teachers don't have any questions. Two type of people don't have questions. One is people who know everything. Two is people who does not know Anything, yeah. So the new normal is never give up, and never give up. So ultimately, after every class, I would say, in every class, have three type of people, three type of participants, and you decide which group you belong to. One is people who make things happen after the class, who try to apply the things that you have learned in your classrooms. People who see things happen, people who sit back and see others doing it in their life. And another very good group would ask what happened today. So you decide which group you belong to and try to bring about a change. As I said in the beginning, I don't believe in a revolution, but I expect a small evolution in the attitudes and force in your teaching competencies. Thank you.